By now you all know I have a tier system to describe how big York Review places are. We've seen a mighty tier 1, a beautiful tier 2, a tapas of tier 3s and a buffet of tier 4s, but we've never seen a tier 5. Until now.
Hi, I'm Stuart Morris. I'm cycling to every large town near me in order of ascending distance and rating them, with the end goal of reaching Flamborough. This is York Review.
Pateley Bridge offers us a rare opportunity to go west, showcasing some routes which are barely covered on this show.
Oh my god, is that? No, of course not.
After passing through the tier 7 village of Rufforth, which has a nice church and crossing, we made a beeline for Wetherby.
Pateley Bridge is actually going to be one of the hardest cycles on the series. It's not the distance, it's the hills. In fact, Pateley Bridge is about 100 metres higher than York is. Add to that the hills in between, and you have yourself a monster of a cycle.
We only skirt around the edges of Wetherby, ending up on a path which takes us near Harrogate. Eventually we come across a stunning bridge, which is where we cross the River Nid. Later on I caught a cute pair of Chinook helicopters and passed a pretty long road which brought us to the lovely Ripley, and right past its castle.
Bridge is in an area of outstanding natural beauty, and the name of this place is... Look, don't make me say it. It sounds way too much like a slur. I really don't want to say this. Okay, fine, I'll say it, but I'm only ever going to say it once on the show, so pay attention. I am in an area called Nidderdale.
This area of outstanding natural beauty is wonderful, and it's where we find some pretty awesome hills.
Oh my god.
After climbing a massive hill to get in, suddenly the descents were everywhere. It was as if every corner I turned revealed another hill. And of course, there were still climbs. Even as I rode into the town, I was met with another descent. I caught some good speed, while trying not to think about the nightmare climb that was waiting for me on the way back. Pateley Bridge is a small village in the area of outstanding natural beauty starting with the letter N. Local legend claims the name comes from pate, an old Yorkshire word for badger. Historians disagree, claiming the name comes from Old English or Norse words for path or shallow water. There are even books which cover the topic. It's a bitter rivalry which few people know about and even fewer care.
The bridge of Pateley Bridge goes over the River Nid, hence the name of the area which we find ourselves in. Pateley Bridge is just such a cool place to be. I mean, take a look at this for example, right? You've got a bandstand and all the benches on the outside are facing inwards so you can watch performance. That's such a brilliant idea, but I've never seen it before. Pateley Bridge is doing as much as they can with the space that they have. And even as I speak, on the other side of me is a river. Wow. One of Pateley Bridge's greatest claims to fame is the high street you see behind me, which won British High Street of the Year in 2016 for the Village Division.
Stanley Lumley, the mayor of Pateley Bridge, devised an ingenious strategy to win this award, wooing judges with bus rides and filling them up with free tarts and lots of booze. This prestigious village also boasts a Gold Yorkshire and Bloom Award, which makes for a fine wall of achievement. Much like myself, having achieved both the #1 Why Not Spotify playlist of 2019 and more recently receiving joint first place in the Yorkshire League of the 2020 Fantasy Bake Off.
And behind me now we probably have one of the most impressive shops on the Pateley Bridge High Street, the oldest sweet shop in England. Now that must have been a pretty weird name when they first opened, but they've grown into it since then. And they are now officially recognised by Guinness as the oldest sweet shop in England. From watching YouTube videos on Pateley Bridge, I've learned there is an intense rivalry between the two butchers on the high street. But which one of them makes the best pork pie?
We don't need to look far for an answer, as fellow YouTuber Scott Weston has already addressed the subject.
There are many issues facing our world today. Donald Trump, Brexit, global warming. But more importantly than all of that, let's find out what is the best pork pie in Pateley Bridge.
He performed a very rigorous investigation, but I'm not going to spoil his video here. There's a link in the description if you want to check it out. I then went on a mission to find the Brimham Rock formations just outside the village, and after stopping at many places I thought were Brimham Rocks, I eventually found the entrance and went inside.
These rocks kind of put Bridge to shame. The rocks in this area are incredibly impressive. They were formed by glaciers and eroded by weather over 325 million years ago. Pateley Bridge is one of the nicest villages I've been to. It manages to do a lot with what it has, and it's in a beautiful part of Yorkshire. The Brimham Rocks are amazing, the high street is brilliant, it's a really good place to visit. I wanted to give it a Yorkshire out of Yorkshire, but if I had to compare it to another town, I'd probably describe it as very similar to Helmsley. And Helmsley, I gave a slightly lower score. As much as I might try to wrap my brains, I can't think of a reason why Pateley Bridge should score higher than Helmsley. So for those reasons, I'm going to give Pateley Bridge a Yorkshire out of Yorkshire. This is a big moment for me, so I thought I'd capture it on film. You know, I've never really considered myself much of an athlete before, and so I've never really thought I'd done enough exercise to justify taking a protein shake. But I went on a cycling forum last night, and you should see what their threshold for long distance cycling is. Apparently what I'm doing is considered energetic enough to justify protein shakes as a snack. So, for the first time ever, I'm going to try one. I don't really know what I'm expecting. It tastes like a milkshake. I guess that is pretty much what it is. A shaken protein shake. Quite nice. Well, you don't want to watch me drink this whole thing, do you?